How this years. I'm live. All right, let's see. Let's make sure my links are right. No. It's got to catch up, so. All right, then that was a capital O. Let's make sure. Yay, there I am. Just heard me. There we go. All right, so that is there. Go. Request to the middle. Go with that. This is why I need like more people and help, because I'm trying to send links through here while being on here and boring the crap out of whoever's sitting and watching. Yes. So, purpose of this video is not going to be going over information that I've found. What it's going to be is I went to my doctor and we had standard conversation about, how I was doing things and, what was going on. I think I need to go up on my mics just a bit. Hello, check 1, 2. There we go. And he made a suggestion that I should sit down with a notebook and a pen, and I should spend 1 hour what I consider to be my problems. And I should spend time thinking about them for just that 1 hour. And during that 1 hour, once the time is over, then I need to learn to turn my brain off from those problems and do it every single day at a specific time. So basically what I'm trying to do is train my mind to only worry about things at a particular moment. Now, of course, it's not good to worry. We all know that. We try to take pride in saying, oh, nothing bothers me. I can get over anything. But the truth is we all have problems and we all have things that we worry about and things that bother us. What some of us do, I guess those with a little more, well, I don't know. I have no idea. What we normally do is we stew on them all day long. Now, I'll give you an example from the times was using drugs to deal with the bipolar side of me, along with the traumatic that I had been through. Problems would just fester and they would sit for a long period of time. And I would basically engulf myself into those problems and I would forget about everybody around me. That is horrible to do, because I even let my problems at one time, and this is extremely personal. So, but it's a damn good example. When I went through my divorce with my son's mother, I let our divorce sour me, and the way that I was being treated, I let it sour me to a point where I missed my son's first birthday. I know, right? It's stupid. I'm stupid. I'm a complete idiot. But that is the truth. That is what happened. I was so miffed and upset that I'm now a statistic of the military divorce rate, and I couldn't hold things together and all that stuff. And I let that pile on top of me to a point where I missed my son's birthday, his first birthday. Now, that was a turning point in a lot of things in my life. But I still have control. I had control in that scenario as far as dealing with my son and understanding, it's not between me and her. When it comes to him and things that he's going through, we have to push all that to the side and only focus on him. And it took me a minute. It took both of us a minute. I want to say it was 3.5 years for us to get to where this last Christmas, I stayed with my ex-wife, her new husband, and my son in their house in Minnesota, where they were at. Not many people who are divorced will go visit their children and be living in the same space as their ex. That is unheard of, really, in this day and age. Probably ever. I don't know. I have not found anybody who has the same co-parenting aspect that me and my ex-wife have. But again, I let the problem fester and grow and exacerbate itself to a point where it affected more than just me and more than just the person it involved. It affected everyone in my life. I disappeared from friends. I ended up moving back here. I was suicidal. It was horrible. So this little thing is, hopefully, it's going to help. Because I love the idea of only giving your problems or things that are bothering you, only giving them a limited amount of space within you for within a day. I should maybe move this further. It seems a little bit. I'm not getting the readouts that I normally get. So I want to make sure that I can do this. Now, you guys need to understand there's also a bit of a problem because I'm doing this while I'm on my channel. I also sent out on Tuber, I sent out a link to come to here. So basically, this is me laying out problems I have, and it's kind of putting it into the public sphere. Now, I understand I can go back at any time. I can take it out, all that stuff. But I told you guys, I told the guys on Tuber, the purpose of doing all this is so people can see what I'm bipolar 2. That is my diagnosis. And it is official in the VA system. It is put for people to be able to see it. Also, for people to see someone trying to figure it out, some say ignorance is bliss, and in some cases it is, but I'm not one of those people. I like to know things. So I'm going to try to calm my nerves, and let's get a column actually set up on the paper. It's a horrible line. And we'll name this one Problems. And I guess, I would put, for the second one, I would put Solutions. Or, well, wait. My Solutions. And then I will, I guess, try to find a middle ground within whatever those problems are. Man, it's going to be hard. Problem 1. What has really been bothering me lately? Well, friend who went into treatment. How can I put it? They didn't speak to me for a while, and even when I was positive, they tried to bring me down. Now, that problem that I just said, friend who went into treatment didn't speak to me for a while, and even when I was positive, they tried to bring me down. Give you a little context on that. I had a friend. I I don't know what to think of him right now at this point. Um, Someone that I really, really liked and I thought was a great man. I thought he had great potential and possibility, and I really wanted to believe that he wanted to get better. And I did everything that I could to help. Offered to take him to treatment, offered to buy over the counter stuff in order to help take care of symptoms that he was having. Just did a whole lot for him. And they had a lot of stuff going on in their personal life, and I took that into account. But lately, it's actually the person that was supposed to introduce me to Pixie, but we never met. That's why I always say on Tuber how it's weird that me and Pixie eventually did meet, because it was supposed to be planned originally, but nobody expected us to actually end up together. But that's what happened. So, and people are just going to have to accept it. But eventually, I got a message from him, and it was like I had been distant. I had been the one that was far away. And the whole time he was in treatment, I would send messages, to his wife, and I would, say that I was thinking about him. And even when I met Pixie, I expressed my gratitude that they were friends, and that he, in my perspective, he thought enough of me that I should meet this person. Fast forward, he gets out, and there's very negative or kind of downer talk about it. I'm hyped. I'm excited. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Thank you for thinking of me. You have no idea, how much it means to me and her that that you thought this way, that we should meet. And he was like, well, I don't know what to think about it. Like it dovetailed. It just went straight down. And it hurt. It hurt a lot. And I think about it all the time because he really is a good guy. And he really, in my opinion, he's a really good guy. And I think that he really wants to do amazing things. He's just kind of stuck in whatever it is that he's stuck in. It is the only thing I can think, because I don't know. I don't know what it is. But later on, he eventually messaged another time and basically had this ownership thing of, I don't need to tell you how I expect my best friend to be treated. And I've brought this up on Tuber, how men who have just friend girls, not actually their girlfriends or their wives or anything, and they will try to put a sort of a dominance on it. And it's stupid to be dominant with anybody, whether you're married to them or not. You don't own anybody. Nobody owns anyone. Okay. We literally had a war about that. Okay. You don't own people. You just don't. And it broke my heart even more because I had received a message last year explaining how I was such a great friend to him, and I had been there in his time of need, and I was always around when nobody else was, and suddenly I'm ground into freaking dust, and I'm just, a common everyday individual. And that hurt. It hurt a lot. I guess way more than it should, because I guess it's what people do. It's what they do around here. It also makes me angry. But I guess I should figure out a solution to that situation. My initial solution, the action that I took initially was I unfriended them and I blocked them. I was just that upset, that mad. And I guess I still am. I'm hurt. I'm really extremely hurt. Let's write blocked on FB, erased phone number. That was my solution at that moment. Was it the right thing to do? I personally think it is the right thing to do, or was the right thing to do, because of the moment that we're in, because it hurts me enough what happened that I need time to try and get through it. And my eyes are already getting puffy, like they're about to freaking flood over. But yeah, I mean, that's the best way for me to deal with that. I love them. I mean, I think a lot of them, and there's a lot of good that they could do, but to reduce me down to that point, what I did was I feel the solution I had of just disconnecting completely, not trying to force a conversation or trying to push them into, explaining yourself and all that stuff. If I mean that much to them as a friend, or mean that much to anybody, when they see me disappear, or they see me, not speaking to them anymore, hopefully they would evaluate the situation and see where things are where I'm coming from. Or I do not have them blocked in one thing, and that is on Instagram, on IG. If they want to come to me and ask me what's wrong, not come at me. Understand there's a difference. You can go to someone in order to speak about a problem that is between you two in a tactful manner, or you can just blow the doors off the hinges and run at somebody, and that would be coming at them. When you have a problem with someone, usually it's better to come to them and not come at them. So if he has a problem with the way I did what I did, he has a way to get in touch with me. So, yeah, I can live with that. That's to me, that's not unreasonable. Yeah, it's not unreasonable, because I'm still here. We all have the same friends, and we have, same, connections and stuff, still through other social media things. And if he really cares and wants to know, he can still get in touch with me. So I don't need to. I think that's fine. I think that's good. All right. Another problem. Y'all don't understand how heavy this is, and like trying to do. because it's hard for me to admit some things are problems. Um, that would be one of the mains, though. Second problem, how can I put it? Not lazy. I'll just say getting the house organized. Now, y'all notice everything's moved. I'm in a completely different room now. You can see a good bit of my gear that I have, and there's more in the kitchen still that I've got to move over. But I've been desperately wanting to get the entire house reorganized and set up. Depression for me is a big deal. As I've mentioned on Tuber several times, it causes me to become lethargic and very unmotivated to do anything at all. And when I do go manic, or when I get into when I feel better, I tend to go and do other things than stuff I should be taking care of here. Now, solution, I should probably do the same thing that I'm doing right now. Set aside an hour each day to work on the house. So then that way I kind of set up a routine of sorts. Now, again, there will be exceptions to those rules because I'll have things to do. Like this weekend, I'm going to be gone Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So on those days, I won't have that time. But my mother has explained to me that my father had passed away. I guess it's been about 3 years now, and she's very bored. So she has offered numerous times to come and help me get things set up, and me being self-reliant, like, no, I got it, I can do it. Maybe it would be good for her because she would have something to do, and it would be good for me because things would get done, as well as the things that I do. Yeah, so I would set aside an hour each day to do something in the house that I want finished. Let's see. Also include mom uh, in the work. So yeah, that way it's not only getting me set into a schedule to do all this stuff, but also it'll help my mother not feel as lonely. She'll have something to do. She says that when she's busy, she doesn't have time to think about things, or things don't get to her as easily. So two birds with one stone, basically. I get the place situated, plus she gets to have something to do and be happy. She's the one, by the way, you may notice there's not as much of an echo in here. And the reason for that is I have blackout curtains set up on the windows. So they're absorbing a good amount of the sound, and of course the gear in here. I have a 12 No, I have a 13-foot by 8-foot rug that I'm going to pull in here and put on the floor, and that's going to pull even more of the sound down. And that was her idea. That was her, not me. I'm the music sound guy with all the recording gear and all those things, and like make a completely soundproof room. But she came up with the idea, and it made her happy. When I told her, I was like, you were right. uh, and that makes her happy to hear that. So yeah, I should include her in it. Now, yeah, that sounds like a good plan for number two. Having the house organized. That that should be the solution. If I can't spend more time doing it, like if I'm just not feeling it, I should at least go for an hour trying to get stuff moved around. Like there was a bed in here and it's all the way in the back. This house is really long, like super long. For when my son comes down. So I've got to get that whole section situated. But I don't need to do it like willy nilly. I've got time to get things set up, and like that TV back there, that's got to go down there as well. So yeah, that's a fairly good plan, man. All right. Number three problem. Okay. This one I kind of worry about because, well, it involves Pixie. I see. I hate that she worries so much about she worries so much about her past, and it would be past and feeling stuck where she is. Now, okay, let me read that one again. I hate that she worries so much about her past and feeling stuck where she is. What is it? Past? And we all have things that we have to deal with. And she's had some very, very tough times. And I know I can't just like shrink myself down and like go inside of her head and make things better. That's not how that works. I wish that was how it worked, because I would have shrunk somebody down and put them in my head to get me straight. But that's that's not how it goes. So yeah. And she really, really wants to be back here because, of course, she has family and stuff that she hasn't seen in, I guess, about a decade now. And it would make her feel better to be able to have that ability to be around them and to see them. And I would love it because, I mean, we would be together. I wouldn't have to, do all the traveling, and she wouldn't have to do any traveling. She was talking about coming down here for later on in the summer, but it. I hate that it's that way. We should be able to be together, but there are people who are ridiculous. So that causes issues. Solution. um, I mean, number one, the main thing that I always try to keep in mind is technically it's not my problem. She would have to do a lot of things in order to get down here. Part of that is dealing with her one of or her ex boyfriend who they have a daughter with, and he is, from what I understand, not cool with the idea of her being down here, which is, in my opinion, it's completely ridiculous because, again, nobody owns anybody, and no one is allowed to hold anybody back just because it's going to make you a little bit uncomfortable or make you have to do a little bit more. Also, I mean, they're just assholes. All right, fuck it. They are complete and utter assholes. And the fact that she has to tiptoe on eggshells for people who aren't even in her life in a meaningful way is ridiculous, and I hate it. It pisses me off. But I mean, I have no quick solution to that. So, the best all around solution, well, of course, is be supportive. Just be there. So be supportive. Be there. Well, I guess being there would be like be there emotionally and physically. Wait, be there emotionally and physically when capable. And within the same problem comes other issues. I'm guessing she worries about, well, us running into one of these particular people. And I have my own point of views about that happening, but again, the problem is not me. All right, the basic way that it all runs down between these people that are causing her to worry is they want to have control over her. It's basically what it boils down to, and they want to keep a grip of fear around them, and to do that, they have to. They care enough about them. They don't want to actually hurt her. So they will do whatever they can for everything around her in order to keep her locked in place. And understand these people have no spot in their life other than being in that one person, or the one guy has the father position. That's it. This other dude, it's done. You know, he needs to get, as they say, get the fuck over it. Move on. Go find somebody else. Actually, you know, needs anger management and probably needs mood stabilizers and a whole lot of stuff from the things that I've heard because, yeah, he's as far as I'm concerned, a pretty shitty human being. But I need to not make it. I need to not make it my problem, if that makes any sense. I mean, okay, because we care for the ones we love. My sister, she recently got divorced, and the guy that she was with, he is a complete asshole. He put a tracker. All right, he put this little tracker thing that goes in the OEM deal under the dashboard of her car, and was tracking like everywhere she was going and things that she was doing. I mean, the relationship was over. Things were done. They're getting a divorce. Get over it. Go do your life. I'm going to go do mine. And he put a tracker in her car. Well, eventually, I took that tracker and I went over to the strip club and I found some dancers and I explained to them the situation. Hey, my sister's ex is like tracking her, and I got this thing. You guys can take it if you want. So one of the girls, and I can't thank them enough, took that tracker, and they're going like all over the place with this tracker. So if he hadn't figured out by now that we know, the tracker's been taken care of, he's getting an eyeful as to all the places that thing is going. And I have no idea how much he paid for that thing. But you know what? Fuck him. But yeah, so she deals with things like that because, again, men are pricks. Men are assholes, and not many can let go, and that's a problem that men need to fix. Talking to you. So I should be supportive in whatever she does. Of course, be there, emotionally, should be available emotionally and be able to stop what I'm doing and take time in order to help her. I need to, and then of course, physically by going up there, but I also need to not, would it be guys? Not internalize her problems as my own, not internalize her problems as my own. Basically, see it for what it is. Let it rest in my brain and fester, as I've mentioned before, and exacerbate to a point where I am more consumed by her problem than she is. Does that make sense? Basically, don't allow it. They are bad problems. They're horrible problems, and nobody should have to go through it. But I need to be able to help her and not be festering like her, or carrying the problem like she is. I need to be able to provide solutions and help. It's a lot easier said than done, but that's what I need to do. I need to make sure that I am not taking her problems and making them my problem to a point where we can't have a good time when we hang out. That happens a lot in relationships. People don't really want to talk about it and they don't want to say anything about it, but they will take personal pain and personal issues of the person they love and they will make it their own. And they will, have bad attitudes and all sorts of stuff. Women as well. Women will get upset about things that have happened to their boyfriends or their husbands, and they will internalize it, and they will be just so freaking mad that they can't have a good time because they're worried about that problem, that issue. And that's got to stop. That's got to stop completely. You love the person, then you're going to be there for them in whatever capacity you can, and deal with things as they roll down. But don't become them and have their problem be your problem. That's best way I can put it. No, it's been 40 minutes on here, but I spent the first part kind of explaining. I also did my little tuber stuff. Which this thing is, oh my God. People. Oh Lord, people are replying to stories. Yeah, so my room is really awesome. Thank you, Manav. I guess people are watching. I don't know. I don't have this going while I'm looking at that in between. Yeah, but that's like a stable way to look at it, and just whenever we get together, just have a good fucking time and don't worry. Any one of those dudes show up, just call the freaking cops. Anybody throws a fit, yeah, just don't even worry about it. Next. Okay. Problem. Those are really been my three biggest issues as of late. One thing that I kind of worry about is, and I don't know really how to word it. Next month on March 8th, I will have been sober for 5 months to the day. And it's the longest that I've gone without needing any outside. Oh, hey, Epic. Oh. What's up? It'll be 5 months, and that's the longest that I've ever gone since 2000. Oh Lord, 2007 is when I was put on medication because of my back injury. Because nobody wanted to do surgery, and I ended up becoming an addict. I guess around 2011, 2013. What's the stream about? This one right now, I go to a VA doctor for psychiatry. I am a bipolar 2 individual, and each video within the Quest of the Mental page is me figuring out what bipolar 2 is, the things that are going on in my head when I have a manic episode or I go into depression. It's me searching out what is going on in my head, I guess on the chemical level, and trying to sort it out along with my emotions and the way that I handle situations or that I used to handle them. So that's pretty much what it is. At this point, I'm way better than what I was. I used to be very erratic, and I would take things to an extreme, whether it be happy or sad. I would go to far extremes. Recently, last year, they had put me on lithium, and ever since I've been on the medication, things have been different, and I've learned a little bit as to why it's been different. In one of the videos, I explain there's a study about lithium actually regrowing white matter on a molecular level in the brain, um, which is, wild to think about. I do yoga. I over at the gym that I go to, they have 2 yoga classes during the week. So I do the yoga, some workouts along with doing this. The research that I go through and trying to get a better understanding. But also, this page, I'm not primarily on YouTube for this. It's there's an app called Tuber, Tubbr, and I do most of my stuff there. Here, I do my long videos, like 30 minutes, an hour, and then I link them over to Tuber, and that's where most of my stuff sit. I live alone, yes. I have a dog, a really big dog, and I've got 2 cats. They're roaming at the moment. But I stay busy most of the time. Like I mentioned, I drive from here to Kentucky. I've been to Missouri. May have to go to Arkansas. I mean, I never sit still. But yeah, it's pretty much just me going through the mental health stuff that I never paid attention to because I felt I didn't have the time. And really what it was I was ignoring it. Yeah. I try and stay busy. The Tuber, it keeps me more busy. It's gotten up to 504 subscribers. I don't know what their max is on Tuber. The other pages have like 1,000. So there's not many that are using it at the moment, but it's in an alpha stage at this point, from what I understand. But it keeps growing, and I got to stay busy. So and like I said, this just kind of ties into what I do over there. But today, I was told by my doctor that I should take 1 hour out of each day, and during that hour, I should focus on my problems, what I consider to be problematic in my life. I need to sit down with a notebook, and I need to write down the problem, what my solution would be, and then, of course, try to find, I guess, kind of a middle ground within it. Then, once the hour is over, then I am supposed to stop and push the problems aside. No, I mean, I don't have an amp or anything. Usually, I run through my recording setup. My amps are all the way back in the living room. I've got huge stack of speakers and stuff all through there. So, but yeah, the other thing that I do, I help bands not kind of design their sound, like when it comes to guitar, bass, and then also do recording here on my computer with all the stuff that I have. That's primarily what I do, and things have kind of been shifting to where I've been doing this. Also, some voiceover stuff. It's a lot in between, but yeah. Problem 4. I really don't have those. The 3 that I named earlier are pretty much the main ones, and it's like 49. Yeah, so yeah, about 50 minutes, almost an hour. I guess that's good enough for now. but but yeah, so it's a Ayurveda. What is that? Um, what is that? Ayurveda. Is that a medicine or something, or Ayurveda? I'm intrigued now. I like finding out new things or things that people use, and I look into them. That's how I kind of got into doing all this. um, Ayurveda. That was that one. Sorry. Herbal medicines. Okay. Uh, let me type that in because I'm curious now. The traditional Hindu system of medicine, which is based on the idea of of balance in bodily systems and uses diet, diet, herbal treatment, and yogic breathing. Or is that? Oh, wait, hang on. Head to toes. Okay, so there's particular types, is what you're saying. Like because this is showing like a bunch of stuff. Treatments, massage, diet, mind body connection, the sages of India. Um, guiding principle, the two main guiding principles of Ayur. I'm probably saying that wrong. The mind and the body are inextricably connected. Nothing has more power to heal and transform the body than the mind. Freedom from illness depends upon expanding our own awareness, bringing it into balance, and then extending that balance to the body. This process isn't as complicated as it may sound. That makes sense. I don't know if you've ever heard of. I don't know if you've ever heard of mindfulness. That is something that I've used. I still use where I will take 30 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever time I need, and I will sit just completely quiet and I will basically meditate in a way, but I do it with controlled breathing. I guess it would be like the yoga breathing technique. So Ayurveda. Gotcha. Ayurveda. I'll get it right one day. But yeah, no, I'll look into it. Because it also includes a diet thing, which is another part that I've been trying to do. Are trying to figure out how to set up a diet that would complement the changes that I'm making already. Now I know most people don't. They want to stray away from the Western medicine and things of that nature. I personally think they can work hand in hand depending on how you utilize the two. And of course, if you can go strictly an herbal way and be okay, then perfect. Stick to it. But I think there's such a humans are just complicated. We're complicated machines, and that's kind of what this page is or what Quest of the Mental is just showing that we are complicated. We aren't, even though we may have certain diagnoses, we aren't that different. We just have a little more we got to deal with. But there are things from the uh, the herbal side, along with standard, or what we call standard pharmacology, that kind of they work together really well. So and like I said, I always try to find something or things that work, no matter which category they come from. If it works, it works. And but I've never heard of this. I think a lot of people on Tuber are from India, I believe, or I have a lot of followers from India. Uh, but yeah, that's interesting. I need to look into it. Now, the yoga that I do, oh yeah, there is a group. Oh Lord, I want to say it's in Africa. There is a certain tribe that even to this day they do brain surgery without any narcotics, without any medicines really of any kind. They will literally open the skull to somebody that has a tumor or whatever, and they will cut the tumor out while the person's like sitting there. There's a video you can find of them doing it, and then they'll basically put everything back together, and they have like a 90% success rate. Which, when you talk about brain surgery in the Western world or with Western medicine, it's a lot lower, and that's what I mean. There's ways that I guess traditional side trumps the Western side, but at the same time, there are moments in the Western side that trump the traditional. So they kind of, different ways to work. And I know there's a lot of information out there. There's a ton of information, and people can get misguided in a lot of ways. Um, but yeah, I mean, I find it all interesting, and that's kind of what I'm doing. So like what you're bringing up now, that's pretty much what I talk about. If I don't have someone to talk about in here or talk with in here, I usually have like a set of tabs pulled up where I'm going through different studies and research that's been done. Like the one about lithium and the gray matter. That study was actually started 20 years ago. A psychiatrist was baffled that there was this one town in Texas, of all places, where nobody had manic depressive disorder. And he couldn't figure out why. Like nobody knew why. Everybody was just doing so much better. Well, they did a test, an environmental test, and they found that the water reservoir was actually soaking through I guess like what do you call it? Rocks of lithium. And yeah, yeah, they do have good barbecue chicken. The water was passing through lithium, and there were trace amounts that were in it. And from that study, they found the aspect that lithium itself can regrow white matter tissues on the cellular level. And of course, people say, well, lithium's bad. It's a metal, salt, all that stuff. But I mean, lithium is, it's in the ground. A lot of people will, turn that. But anyway, that town had a good, they seemed to be doing better mentally compared to other places. And it led to a whole bunch of studies that have been done, not only here in America, but also in England, where they have found, I think it's within 4 weeks of taking lithium in some form, people who have depression and stuff like that, in the mind of nerds, and they did MRIs, and they found that within 4 weeks, lithium had started growing the parts of the brain. So it's cool, and they're turning lithium from the way I take it. I take 900 milligrams throughout a day, so 900 milligrams a day. They are coming up with a new way because it's dangerous. The way that I take it, it's dangerous for anyone right now because you can become toxic from too much lithium. They have a new medicine they're coming out with that sends lithium straight to the brain instead of having to be processed through the blood. So your body doesn't become as contaminated as it is when you take lithium by itself, which, to me, that's amazing. They're cutting down on that toxicity that can happen. And lithium toxicity is no joke. Like you can, if you are severe enough, you can basically become brain dead. I had a friend who committed suicide that way. And yeah, so by using something that's found, around lithium, it's an element, or it's you know what I mean, making it to where it's not as harmful, like sitting in the body like it does, is great, in my opinion. But what do we have here? But yeah, thank you for telling me about it. I've got it pulled up on my phone right now, so I'm intrigued by it. And it mentions sages too. Like it talks about Indian sages would use it. Yeah, I gotta dig into that. I gotta dig into that a lot. Ayurveda. What do you say? Ayurveda. Yeah, I gotta look into that. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna call it. It's been 1 hour and 3 minutes. So went over three of my problems, or 3 problems that I have. Came up with some solutions. Need to I guess basically the middle ground within them, which I think I did. And now I need to turn it off. Yep. So we are done with that. The hour's over. All right. I'm getting off here now. And again, Tuber, Tubbr. You can find that on the App Store, or you can look at it online. And they ask for your phone number to send you an invite. It's invite only. I'm not sure why. I think it's like that's how they keep track. They're only in alpha stage right now for the app. Soon they're going to release the beta, and then after that they'll have the official one, and I think it's going to be a lot more, be bigger. So, but anyway, thanks for everybody for showing up. Avic official, Aviscar. It's hard. I'll just call you Avic. Thanks for coming, Avic, and chatting with me. I appreciate it. And the info. I'm going to do some research on that. But anyway, see you later.